Yes. We back again. Welcome to Godlike Entertainment, formerly Speak On It, You Dig. Different name, same game. I'm your host, Rome the Great. Please say the Great. Today we're going to have an interesting conversation. We talking about the state of hip-hop. Today I got a professional for you. See, this is the difference. A lot of y'all have a lot of opinions. A lot of y'all are amateurs. You don't get paid to rap. You make rap for fun. It's a hobby. You might show up to a show, rock the mic a little bit. But this man right here, he gets paid. He don't get on the stage unless somebody write a check. This is Animeasy, former Smack, URL, goes all over the globe, goes all over the state. Just had a big battle with Ness. You should be able to see that on YouTube soon. So we're going to talk about the state of hip-hop with a professional opinion. Like, you know how when you watch UFC and everybody got an opinion on who the greatest fighter is, and they be like, yeah, for the casuals, because the casuals really don't know what they talking about. They just looking for the knockouts. So we're going to get deep in this. So, Animeasy, let's start off with what made you love this shit?
Hey, your motherfucking ass.
Besides me.
Sorry, no, excuse my cousin, excuse my language. But yeah, like I love music ever since I was young. As you know, I was like, I don't know. Believe it or not, like, you know what I mean, when I was like 9 or 10, I wanted to be like this R&B artist. You know what I'm saying? I started listening to a lot of like Peabo Bryson, Howard Hewitt, a lot of things that my dad was into. You know what I mean? And then, you know what I mean, looking up to my older brother throughout the years, you know what I mean, I started getting influenced by your LL Cool J's, your Cannabises, your, you know what I'm saying, your DMX's, your, you know what I mean, your Biggie Smalls, your Tupacs, like, you know what I mean, just the way that people put words together. It kind of like fascinated me in a certain type of way. And then growing up in a neighborhood where everybody rapped, like, you know what I mean? Everybody rapped in the neighborhood. So it's kind of like, you know what I mean? You take bits and pieces from everybody and formulate your own idea of what you think hip hop really is. You know what I mean? So and some of us have identity crisis. Like I had an identity crisis for a long period of time. You know what I mean? Whoever was I kind of looked at like a nice MC I tried to emulate in some type of way. But you know what I mean, when I got older, I started to find my style a little bit more and more. You know what I mean? So growing up, yeah, just you know what I mean, just I got an ear for music. You know what I mean?
So give me the definition of hip hop, and I'll join you with it after you do yours. What's your definition of hip hop?
Well, I mean, the true definition is the five elements of hip hop, which is DJing, graffiti, you know what I mean, breakdancing, you know what I mean, beatboxing, and master of ceremonies. You know what I mean? But my definition of hip hop is,
Mhm.
and this is just me, and I'm not saying that anybody else has to feel this way. I'm saying everything that I've ever went through in my life, because I'm a different rapper than a lot of these rappers out here. Like I don't just talk about the modern day stuff that everybody wants to hear. I talk about my pain and my struggle, and I use it for therapeutic purposes. I think it's ghetto poetry in some type of way, like because it comes from a real and dark place. Like hip hop doesn't mean necessarily, oh, we have to, you know what I mean, talk about the modern day. You know what I mean, we have gold and platinum and rims and females and all that. You know what I mean? Because I don't come from that. You know what I mean? And I can't. You know what I mean? I never really had money. We grew up poor, so you know what I mean. I can't really talk about money. I could talk about my struggle though. You know what I mean? So I think that's what hip hop is.
My opinion of hip hop. Let me get loose on this one, cause you know I love this shit. My opinion of hip hop, man, this is a lifestyle. You live it. You go outside as hip hop. The way you dress is hip hop. The way you talk is hip hop. The way you walk is hip hop. And always and forever, we ready to battle. We ready to throw down. We ready to see who the man. We ready to see who take the gold. Take your woman.
Right.
And at the end of the day, that's going to be in cement forever. That's hip hop. Now, my question to you is today, I don't see it. Do you see it? Do you see
That's
people
that's a
living that
hard
lifestyle?
that's a hard question because okay, for instance, right? Back in the day, we would have to go to like record stores, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean, and get singles, you know what I
Right.
mean, with instrumental. People don't understand with the cassette and with the single, the clean version, the dirty version, and then the instrumental. Like people don't come from that. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, I think everything's watered down by social media because it gives everybody a platform. It don't just give a one particular because you knew who somebody was. Like when you
Right.
stepped on the track, like you knew who a DMX. As soon as you heard that, you know he's coming on. You know what I
Right.
mean? Now tuned into the greatest, that's Jay-Z. You know what I mean? You know who
Mm-hmm.
Nas is. You know who, you know what I mean? It gives you that feel like, uh-oh, here go them goosebumps. Music don't give people them goosebumps no more.
So,
You know
so
what
let
I
me
mean?
ask you
It's
this.
more
Let
like,
me. My fault.
go
I didn't mean
ahead.
to interrupt you, but this is important.
Go ahead.
Do you feel like you not being able to touch a tape, that you not being able to touch a CD, you can't see that artwork? Do you feel like that takes some intimacy away from the music? Do you feel like that takes some feeling away from what you're doing? You can't touch it. You can't look at it. You can't experience it. Back in the day, you could look at the artwork and be like, oh man, I feel with it. You know what I mean? I mess with this. I feel what he's thinking. But now, like, everything is digital. It's cold. It's non-personal. What you feel about that?
I feel as though like it doesn't take away from the art because I feel like that there is some, and I'm gonna say a selective few that I can actually relate to, like a Rod Wave, like a Moray, like a, you know what I mean? Even the baby, he raps sometimes. Even Drake, you know what I mean? He raps sometimes. But I think it takes away. I'm not going to say it takes away from the music. I think it takes away from the artist because we were so far distance away from the artist back then that we didn't have
Mm-hmm.
a social media platform where we can actually see what's going on in your life or somebody spreading rumors about you or dirt or stuff like that. Because once it hits the internet, it's like that. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I think it social media took away from the closeness that you have with the artist because as soon as
Yeah.
you see the artwork, you feel like no, like that's just like kids nowadays. I don't think that they're so intrigued to meet a bigger artist how we was intrigued to meet a bigger artist back then because
Mm-hmm.
back then we didn't see them all the time. They're not visible. They're only visible on TV, on television at a certain time, and you had to watch every music video just to get to your favorite one. Nowadays, you could just click on your favorite music video and watch it. We didn't have
Right.
that back then.
But you
So
know,
I think it takes away from the artist. I don't think it takes away from the music.
but you know what was the shit about watching them old BETs and Yo MTV raps? We was introduced to artists we didn't know. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Now
right,
you just gotta listen to what the next person listened to, and that's how you find out. Now you know one thing that's dope about this new generation, and I don't want to shit on it totally. So let me give it its flowers when its flowers is due. There's a lot of independent music that you would never hear due to streaming. So streaming is
right.
kind of cool, but it still raped the artist at the end of the day. So I think it's cool
Mm.
that you hearing some people that you would never hear. But let's take it back. Let's unpack this slowly. Let's not run through it. Let's take it back to the beginning. What's the first couple artists that you can remember listening to?
Mm. Mm. Sheesh. Like what's the question? What's the first artist that I actually
When you were rapping, when you said this is what I want to do, I'm good at this. Who was in your tape deck? Who was in your Walkman? Now keep it real, you had a Walkman at that
oh
time. You probably don't want people to know
oh
that. You had a Walkman.
I
Who
did.
was playing?
Red Man.
Mm,
Red Man. Who would I say? Big Pun. Capital Punishment.
mm.
Um man, oh my goodness. People are gonna shame me for this, but Bone Thugs and Harmony.
No, they
Uh
official.
uh you know what I mean? Then then you had your swagger stuff, which was like do or die. Like I love them. Like
Mm.
I love do
Mm.
or die. Then you had your like MC8s that give you that grittiness, that you know what I mean.
Right.
But my favorite of all time, my favorite record label of all time is gonna forever be No Limit.
Mm. I mean,
It's gonna be forever.
they came and ran a decade. They came and dropped CD after CD. I don't think lyrically they're the best group ever. I believe Mystical's probably one of the greatest lyricists in there that probably won't get in the top 5. I don't believe that he'll make it. They won't even mention his name. Probably not even in the top 20. But to come from a place where he came from, where everybody was just talking street noise, he really had something to say. But you gotta give it
Yeah,
to him. They
because he said something in that ghetto dope, which people don't even like really resonate today. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
He said 90% of the shit is your business, and 10% of the shit is your talent. Like, you know what I mean?
mm,
Which resonates today. And he was dropping gems
no,
back in
that's just a
93.
nigga. That's just what a nigga with no talent would say. But it works out. But you know what I mean? That's what they gonna say. He just ain't no talent. But he had business talent, and that's different. And that was way more than 10% when he put that business. When he hit the streets with them CDs, that was more than 10%. But moving on from that. So you listen to all these people, right? We're
Mhm.
going back to the beginning of that because No Limit is like later on. So I just want to start at that beginning. You said Redman. Was Redman, how did his music affect you? Was it a negative vibe? Was it a positive vibe? How to make
Super
it?
positive, super
Mm,
positive, super positive. Like it never gave me a feel where I had to, because I didn't listen to music that made me go want to punch somebody in the face. You know what I'm saying? But then, you know what I mean? Like you listen to Redman and you really like, you know what I mean? Like the Keith Murrays and you know what I mean? You know what I mean? When they was when and Eric Sherman when they was all a group. I forgot what the group was called. I think it was Def something. I think you would know it, Ron. But
I
they
don't
were
know.
they were a group at one point in time. It was him, Keith Murray and
Oh, Def
Eric
Squad. Def
Sherman.
Squad. Yeah,
Yeah,
Def
there you
Squad.
go. Def Squad.
Got
There
you.
you go. So I used to listen to them a lot. You know what I mean? And then you know what I mean? It just gave me a positive vibe. Like it really showed me the structure of lyricism. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like who says, you know what I mean? I was caught putting Christmas trees up and it was Easter. Like, you know what I mean?
Facts.
It's the way that he words things, the way that he how he jots down. No, once upon a time up in like that's real hip hop.
Superman lover in the house, all that shit. Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel you. I feel you.
yeah,
So
yeah.
let me go ahead, bro.
So that really is like the pinnacle for me because like I said, I wasn't from the era of the rock hymns and the you know what I mean? Like they were a little before me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not saying that I never listened to them because they're incredible artists. But what I am saying is I'm talking about from my era would be the Redmans, the Method Mans, the Wu
Right.
Tangs, the you know what I mean? So yeah.
Right. So my point is when you talking about all them artists, which is dope artists, right? You know what I'm saying? The reason why I brought that up on how it made you feel is because it was a positive energy. You know, at that time, people were getting along. At that time, wasn't, a whole bunch of negativity. People wasn't trying to be gangster. People wasn't trying to join gangs. You know what I'm saying? You was trying to be smarter, actually, because the lyrics was so dope. You had to be on top of these cats. You couldn't be no dumb dude and be on top of Redman because he gonna kill you. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? So then we
Right.
moved to another era of time, like around like the mid '90s. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the Chronic, right? You got the Chronic, you got Snoop Dogg, you got Ice Cube, you know what I'm saying? And they dope too, you know what I'm saying? And they add into the culture, right? But then you feel a switch in energy. Then it's more negative and it's less intelligent. You know what I mean? But they telling the story of their life, which we couldn't do. You know what I
Right.
mean? So you gotta put some respect on their name. They telling the story of their life, which is super dope because they like a ghetto newspaper. You know what I mean? But do you feel
Well,
like
they,
the go ahead?
my fault to interject on what you were saying. You know what I mean? They open the floodgates for artists like us and 10 million artists around the world to even speak about their pain because even when NWA come out, a lot of people didn't know why they were saying F the police and all that stuff. That's because those are the trials and tribulations that they had to deal with. So you know what I mean? It makes a better story when it's authentic. You know
Right.
what I mean? It makes a way better story.
But just remember them days you had Public Enemy. You was fighting the power. You was watching New Jack City. You know what I mean? And all them
Right.
things. It wasn't the same energy. So now other people got control of this music. You know what I mean? The thing that we love so much, this art form, which we famous across the globe. You know what I mean? And I'm talking
Facts.
about black Americans. Black Americans made this hip hop. And now the whole globe love us. You know what I'm saying? Some of these Chinese boys can break dance better than you ever could. You know what I'm saying? That's that influence. You know what I'm saying? They put that influence in. See, but the thing is when somebody else got in control, they started pushing that narrative, that gangster narrative. Because a lot of people, you know, when I was growing up, wasn't tough until they seen Menace to Society and the music that came
Right.
off of that. They wasn't tough until they seen Boys in the Hood, and then this narrative got pushed, right?
Right.
So what do you feel? How do you feel that affected the culture? Because that's what we really talking about. We talking about the culture.
Okay. And a lot of people won't agree with me, but I don't care. I got my own opinion.
Right.
Um, I feel as though like that people like everywhere in America, even around the world, is the same to a certain extent. You know what I
Right.
mean? We have our hoods, we have our suburbs, we have our, you know what I mean, our inner city living, we have our good city living, we have our bad city living. I think the culture of hip hop helped more than it did bad. Because
Mm.
if we wouldn't have known about an NWA, if we wouldn't have known about NWA with the gangbanging, if we didn't know Do or Die with the pimp stuff that was going on in Chicago back then and all the gangs, you know what I mean? And the stuff that they glorify. Yes, we understand that the black community has a problem with murder, with drugs. We understand that. But if we bring things to light like that goes on, and oh, because we live all the way in Wichita, Kansas. So you mean to tell me I'm listening to someone from Cali and they're going through the same thing? So you
Mm.
kind of respect a little bit more of what you do because of what you hear for them, because the person that lives in a whole different state can relate to what you're saying. You know what I mean? That's
Right.
just like my music, like your music, like anybody else's music. We from, you know what I mean, a total different place of these people, and we sit there and write our pain and write our struggle, and people nodding their head and respecting it like, man, dog, I went through the same thing. So I
Right.
think it helped out a lot of people, especially like, you know what I mean, people that struggle with addiction, people that, you know what I mean. I had a person come up to me one day, you know what I mean, when I was heavy on music and said, yo, you helped me through my addiction because you was telling me the truth about addiction. You know what I mean? You was telling me about yours, how you got shot and you was addicted to pills at one point in time. And it helped
Mm.
me out through the struggle. So just because there's a couple rotten apples that take hip hop as a glorification of bad things doesn't mean, you know what I mean, it didn't help out a lot of people either. So that's
I
my
respect it. I
so
respect
that's
that.
my assessment.
Hey, I want to take a moment to shout out the chat. Thank you for everybody who showed up. Could you please like, share, and subscribe if you could? I put the link in the chat. If you want to join this conversation, you're more than welcome. All you got to do is hit that link. But until then, we're going to get back to business. See, now this is my problem because I got to play devil's advocate. I got to go to the bad side because, you know, and trust me, like I say, I love this shit. I'm not trying to diss it. I'm not trying to, but I got to bring reality to the fact. You know what I'm saying? That 93 to 99 period, due to the music that was playing, we lost so many black people. We lost so many. You know what I mean? And I believe music is a form of mind control. Because did you know, like when you play a beat, you know what I'm saying, one side of your brain stays sleep and the other side stay open. And that side that the music leaves open, that plants in your brain. So say you go sleep to some Master P, you know what I'm saying? You wake up with a negative attitude, you know what I'm saying? But it's dope the way they do it. And it's so dope that it make you want to listen to it more. So, you know, I gotta say it has some downfalls and we gotta deal with it. We can't just like, you know, glorify everything good about it without seeing the negative it did. So we're passing that, right? We're passing that time period. Then things start coming full circle because everything come full circle. Then you get the Jay-Z's, you get the Nas's, you get the DMX's, and then intelligence started taking the forefront. Now they had stories, right? But they wasn't killing you. They was fly. They was like, I got the strap. I don't want to have to use it. But you know what I'm saying? If I do, then it is what it is. It wasn't just shoot them up, bang, bang. They was fly with it. You know, if you feel what I'm saying?
Hey, Tupac, the most famous line of Tupac, he said, I'm not a killer, but don't push me.
Right.
And that solidifies what music was back then. Because it's like that verse like it really is a symbol of a lot of stuff that people want to say to people. Like, I'm not a killer, but don't push me. Revenge is like the sweetest joy next to getting, you know what I mean? Like, and you know what I mean? I peeped the weakness in the rap game and sold it.
Right.
What?
Right.
Like,
and he wasn't even considered a lyricist for real, but that was dope. You pointed out a dope bar.
Ghetto poetry, bro. That brings me back to the ghetto poetry part. You know what I mean? Like him with the, because I'm not a big, and people are gonna hate me when I say this. I'm not a big Tupac fan. Not a big Tupac fan.
Right.
I'm more of a Biggie and pun type dude.
Right.
Like that's just me. But Tupac was more like y'all remember, anybody from my era will tell you, and even Rome the Great will tell you, Tupac was always played at somebody's cookout.
Yep.
Always played at somebody's cookout. You couldn't go to a cookout in 94, 95 without hearing Tupac in your speaker, especially All Eyes on Me. And I shout out to Pac because that was one of his greatest albums. I personally think Machiavelli is better. But
Best double CD out for real.
I don't know. I think Life After Death is.
Damn, that's a good debate. I ain't
You
even
see
gonna
what
push
I
you on
mean?
that.
Like
Continue. Good shit. Continue.
yeah, I think. But Biggie made you. You know what I'm saying? He made you want to be yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm black and ugly as ever. However, I stay Gucci down to this. You know what I mean? Like that makes you want to be yourself. Tupac was talking revolutionary. Like, you know what I'm saying? He was talking that black power. Like, you know what I'm saying? The Rosa Parks. You know what I'm saying? He was just standing up for what he believed in. But also at the same point, when he went to death row, a lot of that got push with Suge Knight. He gave him a gangster image, and before that he wasn't all that like that, because he was singing about Brenda having a baby and being Mozart with that pen, you know what I mean? And he was telling a real life story. Like Brenda had a baby, made me cry when I was young. I ain't gonna hold you, like, you know what I mean? Because that's a serious situation that we have to deal with as African American folks in the ghetto, because you always know a Brenda from our neighborhood, and you know she has a baby that she treated wild because she was addicted to drugs. Like, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think Tupac was a better ghetto poet than he was a gangster to me.
Right.
So,
but who was iller? You gotta do it. You can't bring that up without saying who was iller. Like, you know what I mean? This is the
who
debate
was iller out of who?
Pac or Big? Who you got?
I got Biggie.
Facts.
I got Biggie.
Facts on facts.
All the way.
Pac got one out.
I got Biggie all the way.
Sorry about that. He got All Eyes on Me. After that, you don't want to hear that one after he got shot with the song Dear Mama. He had that Death Around the Corner. That shit was ill. And he had a couple with the Outlaws. Them
No. See, you can't say that wrong, because he had 2 albums. Machiavelli was pretty good.
That one song was decent. But I ain't really.
Me and My Girlfriend.
Yeah, it was alright.
Come on, Me and My Girlfriend. He was talking about a gun the whole time. People was talking about, they don't want to hear this sweet ass song. I'm like, he's talking about a gun.
Yeah, facts. All right, so let's stay
Like
on topic.
y'all just looking at the title and not listening to the words. See,
All right,
that's where we go back to.
we at that time. We at that time with Jay-Z, Fly as Ever. We got that time with Nas. He's stepping it up. You know, we got beef. We got rap beefs, but ain't nobody dying. Now, what do you feel like that particular era
Oh,
did for the
somebody
culture?
died. Somebody
Yeah,
died.
I'm not saying nobody died, but I'm just saying it ain't like now. Now you say something about somebody on Facebook, 10 people trying to kill you. It ain't that time then that it is now.
No, the difference between now beef and back then beef, e- everybody look, because behind the scenes you would never know what they're, because it was real with them. That's just like the 50 and the Ja Rules, the
Yeah,
Jay-Z and the Nas's, the Ice Cubes and the you know what I mean? And with the NWAs, like they were real genuine beefs. Like people was getting punched in the face and shot and you know what I mean? And all type of stuff. Like you see documents 20 years later, you're like, whoa, if these dudes would have, you know what I'm saying, social media, they would be doing life right now. Like, you know what I mean? But the
yeah.
difference is with now and then is back then they really made it a competition like who got better bars, who got the best pen.
Yep.
Nowadays it's more of a exposing thing, like people will say people's names like Bob, like no disrespect to Bobby Smurder when I say this, but you know what I mean, you making that song and saying people's names damn near got you indicted.
Mm. So
You know what I'm
let me
saying?
mhm. Let me ask you this: who do you feel like is better? Do you feel like today's rap is better than yesterday's rap?
Oh, back then was way better.
Hmm. Why?
The lyrical content, the stuff, the subjects that people touch on. You know what I'm saying? Like you got the Eminem with the stands. He's writing a letter to his fan. He's writing a fan is writing a letter to him, and at the end of the song, he wrote a letter back, finding out his fan was dead. Like you know what I mean? Like that is I'm all about deep concepts and deep thought where
Mm-hmm.
people actually put time into their work. That's just like painting. Like I'm not going to sit here and be like, okay, you put your hand, you put a whole bunch of colors on your hand and slapped it on a painting and try to call it drawing or art. It's not that. Like I like people that take their time with their thought process and their art, because really all music is a beat and words and making them come alive. You know what I mean? These people ain't making music come alive anymore.
Right.
It's more
So,
groove. It's a drug addict era. These people are
mm,
drug addicts. You know what I
damn,
mean? They pop Percocets and lean and just rap about anything that comes to mind.
damn. You just shitted on the whole era. The views
I
and
mean,
opinions of
hey,
Animeasy are not the views and opinions of Godlike Entertainment. So let me
I
ask you.
guess I'm
So
a bitter old man if that's what you want to call it.
right, but peep this though. Do you feel like there was not as many artists back then as there is today? Like, did you find like it was harder to find somebody on the streets that had talent than it is today?
Mm. Hold on, I want to answer that question correctly, so please repeat it.
Hmm. Do you feel like it was harder to find people with talent, rappers, back in the day? Like say you wanted to hear some local music. Do you feel like there's less local music back then and more now, or vice versa?
Oh, there's way more local music than back then. Way.
Mm,
And I'm gonna explain why that is. Because okay, shout out to Lady Homie, she's in the chat and she can attest to this because she's a local
shouts out.
legend. You know what I'm saying? She's a local legend herself.
Right.
When when we was in ciphers, right? We're in ciphers or in shows,
Yeah.
right? You had 20 other wannabe rappers on the side, right?
Yeah.
And then they see us do what we do and be like, yo, I'm not coming after that. Like there ain't no way.
Thanks.
There ain't no way I'm coming after that. Look, I'm gonna just sit on the side and become a spectator. But now, you know what I mean? People can say boogity, 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 boo. You know what I'm saying? And then the next person be like, oh, I can do that too. Here, let me pop a perk and just boogity, 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 boo, 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 boo. Like, you know what I mean? So it's way like it's because back in the day, you had to say something. You had to
Yeah.
say something or you was getting beat up out of a session.
Damn.
Literally, like somebody was jumping you. Like, and I'm not talking about lyrically. I'm talking about physically beating you up and dragging you out the set, out the cycle. Like, yo, what is this dude doing here? Like, you know what I mean? Like, get out of here. But now it's more like, yeah, I mean, the alphabet community. Yeah, I mean, with all these, you know what I'm saying, these rappers and da da da. Like, you could be anything you want now. It doesn't even really matter. Like, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But what I am saying is it was a little bit hardcore and a little bit more street back then.
Right. So you said that this generation is drug addicts. We were drug addicts back in our time, but it was more marijuana. It was more weed. We was on the chronic. We was smoking that hydro. We was on that purple. We was on that relaxed, that mellow tip. And music definitely had us in that zone. You know, because that's what the first thing you do is when you roll that blunt and you light it up, you putting some of that music on. So do you believe that the music itself is making people do these drugs that they're choosing to do today, which is their choice? It's their generation. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
it's a generational gap. You know what I'm saying? Because the stuff that people do now, back in the day, we have called you a fiend or a snap, like
Yeah,
100%. Like you, like yo, you're a whole snap, dude. Get away from me. But nowadays, it's more like the people that rap on these songs kind of influence it. They almost sponsor it. They get behind it, not understanding that there's, you know what I mean, medical conditions that come with that. You know what I mean? There's psychiatric, you know what I mean, things that go on in your mind when you take these things. You know what I'm saying? It can give you cirrhosis. It can, you know what I mean? It could just mess you up. You become a dependent to these things that, you know
right.
what I mean? I seen a 14-year-old around my way, you know what I'm saying, heard something that like an NBA young boy said, and he passed out because he overdosed on lean at the corner store.
Right. So if y'all don't know, uh African people of African American descent or vibrational people. Um, the vibrations of the music uh, create certain feelings that we have. So we basically get controlled by these vibrations. Like if you look at the Travis Scott incident, um, you know, when he got up on there and started doing all those different tones, it wasn't even music at that point. Yes, okay, we could say auto-tune is the new thing, but there was no lyrics involved. It was just vibration. You know what I mean? So you still don't feel like we're getting control through this music. And if we took back our art form, which is ours, that we can make a bigger difference in our community than ever.
Facts. I agree 100%. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but
Like
some
quit using these human sacrifices.
right.
You know what I mean? Like this
I'm
is
gonna hit you.
ridiculous.
I'm gonna hit you with a hard question. This is a hard one, bro. All right, I know it's gonna
All
hurt.
right.
Can you put Drake in the top 10 of all times? I'm gonna just back up off of that.
Drake top 10 of all times?
Fuck that. Top 5. Is Drake top 5 of
No,
all
no,
times?
no, 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 not even close. Matter of fact, he's not in the top 10.
Mm,
He's not. He's not. He's not even better than the person I put him on.
right. Damn.
Little Wayne, I would say, is in the top 10.
Hmm. A lot of people. I mean, there's a lot of people that would disagree. I mean, you just had what?
That's
Uh,
fine.
yeah, like you know, you just had a famous DJ who's been famous for years put Drake in the top 5. Better than Jay-Z. Drake, better than Jay-Z. Now, when it comes to sales, you would have to do it. Think about it.
Okay.
If it come,
Okay, so I got a question. I got a question for you. Who's the top 5 that you think is in the top 5?
oh shit, what you asking me? My top 5?
Yes.
Man, my top 5 is gonna be.
No, you can't. Don't do
Gonna
this,
do it.
bro.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. But you know, I don't want to be biased with the top 5
Don't be biased. No, 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 no.
because it's gonna be
Don't.
all old heads, and I don't want to do that. I want to add some young people into this because some young people is fat. All right, all right, all right. So this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do. Damn, I'm gonna try to split this up, but you can't split a 5. So I'm gonna put Jay in there. He gotta be in there. Big gotta be in there. I want to put my man Cole in there.
J. Cole.
Yeah, man, he amazes me, man, and he's a young dude. I mean, he's still a little bit old, like to these newer rappers, but he's still a young dude. And I gotta put Kendrick in there, and I gotta give Busta Rhymes the last one, and I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, facts, facts. See, Busta Rhymes is in my top 3.
Mm.
He's in my top 3. Like, there ain't no okay. For people are gonna hate me for this, but I don't care, dude. I think it's the best lyricist alive. Number 1 is Eminem of all times, to me. Number 2 would be Biggie. Number 3 would be Busta Rhymes. I would say Jay-Z would be 4, and Nas would be 5.
So you ain't putting no new niggas in there.
No, for what?
Damn.
For what?
That's
Look, yo,
crazy.
name me one thing. Oh, name me one artist other than Drake that has shifted the culture to the point where people are acting a certain type of way or rapping a certain type of way. You know what I'm saying? There's only a
I
couple.
feel right, but
There's
I'm gonna
only a
ask you a
couple.
question.
Go ahead.
I feel like Griselda is shifting. I feel like Griselda's making an impact, and I feel like they shifting people back to that East Coast music. I feel like they bringing the East Coast surge back. You know, I think drill music and Griselda are fighting each other for a position because New York has lost their identity because they haven't been on top in years. So I feel like Griselda's trying to push it back, and drill music is like fighting Griselda's wave. You know what I mean? That's my opinion.
But see, even Griselda, and people are going to be mad when I say this, they're Wu-Tang -4.
What? They don't even rap like
I,
Wu-Tang.
I, I,
That's crazy.
I'm calling a spade. You know what I'm saying? Because I like some drill music. There's some drill music that's actually crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like
You can call me old. I gotta say this, and I don't care. You can call me old, but drill music sounds like some 1985 Ice-T. Like it's so slow.
not that bad. Not that
And it
bad.
tells
Not
you
that
everything
bad.
I'm doing. I'm going to the store. I'm getting a blunt. You're like, what? Like I don't need to know every single move you made that day. Like it's crazy. Drill
Like
music's
I like
horrible
the
to me.
rhyme patterns. People be like, you know what I mean? I like that rhyme pattern, the way they be doing that. But you know what I'm saying? You're right. A lot of that stuff is garbage, but
It's
a
giving
lot of
dumb
it
people
ain't.
jobs, in my opinion. And I apologize because I know some people love it. So don't hate me because it's just my opinion. Because I'm sure you don't like a lot of stuff that I like. So get over it. But yeah, man, and this is adding to that culture like we was talking about. Like, you know what I mean? We got whole gangs made out of drill music. We got whole people
Facts.
dying over drill music. People talking about they
Facts.
smoking on this and doing that. You know what I mean? And as soon as they put your name in a song, people end up dying mysteriously. This is not by no accident, man. Because we don't own our greatest asset, which is our music. Music run the
Hmm.
world, bro. The world. And everybody copy off of the USA. Man, you can go to
Facts.
Japan, you can go to China. They playing hip hop somewhere. And they making a
Yeah.
ton of money off of it. But guess what? You can't make no money off of it, because what you gonna do? You gonna go stream, get a couple pennies for thousands of streams, and if you want a record deal, they gonna 360 you. You know what I mean? You can't even sell out your trunk no more. You can't even become
Nah.
independent overnight by yourself. You gotta sit down with somebody because they stopped you. Go ahead.
That's not always the case though, because nowadays there's different, you know what I mean, streaming platforms, and there's different now to get money. Now if you want to ask a question like, because this is a whole other subject. If you want to ask a question like, you know what I mean, is it easier to get on now than it is back in the day? I'm going to say 1,000% yes.
You think so?
Very easy. Very easy. Yes.
Explain why.
Yes.
How does a person get on today? Explain that. Explain the steps in your opinion.
Social media, yo. Keep working, yo. Somebody will see you. Somebody will see you. Somebody like do numbers. Because this is what a record label told me. You know what I mean? And I banged into record labels a lot in my journey. A lot. You know what I mean? So I was even about to get signed to a couple of them. So what I am going to say is this. You know what I mean? When you bang into record companies, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, you can rap. You're talented. What's your numbers like? You know what I mean? And then when you say, well, I only got this much and this much, you'll be like, yeah, do better. Call me in about 2 years. But nowadays, like, you can have your friend that shoot music videos or your friend that has a studio, because back in the day, it was so hard to get into a professional studio.
Now you talking. Now I agree. The thing about today's music is all you need is a laptop and a microphone, and you could do something.
And an interface.
Crazy.
And an interface.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because back in the day, you had to buy every piece, bit by bit, and it cost dough. Like only ballers had.
Yeah, we started off somebody. We started on ADATs, like Tascam, 305s, DR5s, had Tritons. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? You had to mix down manually. I'm talking about no plugins, no nothing. Raw, straight raw. And it was so much more expensive back then. It was like $150, $200 to get into a real professional studio. You know what I mean?
Right.
That it wasn't accessible how it is now. You know what I mean? Just like Roman Gray said.
$100 back in the day was like $1,000 today. You know what I'm saying? Like if you like you see how shoes like is like $3,000 back then. If you had $150, you had the hardest Jordans out. If you paid $150 and you hit them streets, your Jordans was nice. That's a fact. Now you gotta pay $800 to be one of a kind. But you know, definitely you can just cop you a nice little MacBook, little microphone. You know what I mean? Little interface.
Pro Tools.
You know,
Pro Tools,
nobody even making beats.
On.
Yeah, like, you know, back in the day, you had to know basically the piano because niggas was on Tritons and Phantoms and, you know what I mean? They was hitting keys. They was killing it, looping it. You had to be a musician. You had to have extra talent. And now everybody a whiz, and it's crazy. And so now you got more rappers than you got fans. So when you do put out music, ain't nobody feeling it because everybody's competition. So if you're listening to my music and you rap, you don't want me to be nice. You want me to be whack so you could be that dude. You know what I mean? So we got a lot of hate. We don't work together. You know what I'm saying? And it's not looking good in the future. So how you gonna like my music if everybody want to be an artist? I need some fans out here. We need some good old fashioned fans. I can't do it because back in the day they tell you I can't rap. It ain't for me. You know, but now everybody can write 16s. What's your opinion on that?
Yep. But see, the biggest problem, yeah, we hear you. But the biggest problem is, you know what I'm saying, you knew, you know what I'm saying, back in the day when we was even growing up on a block, you know what I'm saying, we had like one or maybe two people with like a studio. And you know what I'm saying, like like the rappers were the rappers, but the street dudes and the drug dealers was that. Like they wasn't trying to get on no song or record. They're like, man, I ain't doing that. Yo, I'm out here getting this money. Now everybody that's a drug dealer or something trying to use rap as a cover up, as a tax write off to wash money. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Which is cool, but it's not cool because you're like using what we love as a mockery to do your dirty work. Like, you know what I mean? And
Facts.
I don't think that's, you know what I mean? I believe if you put, because I mean, if it happened since the beginning of time, like, you know what I mean? Drug money played for everything. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, like, you know what I mean? With all these people, like your Master P's, your Jay-Z's, like, you know what I mean? There's that, and I'm not snitching, there's documentation on actual them admitting to, you know what I mean? Like, yo, we hustled to get where we had to go, which is, you know what I mean? And they used that one marketable person. Yeah, I mean, and he was actually talented, but nowadays you'll have the drug dealer in front of the microphone, in front of the camera, like, you know what I'm saying? Which you can't mix the two. I'm here
No.
to tell you this. I played both sides of the fence. Listen to me, kids, grown-ups included. You cannot be a gangster and a rapper at the same time. It does not work. I'm telling you now. Like, it doesn't work. Like, you can't be out here selling records and selling dimes at the same time. You can't do it, yo. It's not gonna work.
Right, because you need to spend your time sharpening your craft. Like how you gonna be a hustler and a rapper at the same time? Because you ain't got no time to practice rapping because you out in them streets all the time. I used to tell people that all the time. Like they be like, "Man, I'm real though," but you can't rap because you spent all your time being real. Like, just be real,
Right.
nigga. Like, you know, stay
Yeah,
out the
just be
studio.
real. That's it.
Just be real. If
That's
that's
it.
what you want to do, stay in your lane. You just be real, bro. But when it comes to rapping, don't do that because you got this a craft, man. This is an art form. This is like sharpening iron. You think a dude that makes swords just hop in the booth and just make swords real quick? No, it take time. It take practice. It's a tradition. Their father did it. Their father did it. It's something that needs to be molded into greatness. You know what I'm saying? And people don't take it like that. Everybody just want to get up
And
and
I have
say
to say
anything.
this. Sorry to interrupt you, but I have to say this. Whatever lane you are in real life, you know what I'm saying, whether it's music or whatever, yo, stay in your lane, yo. Don't be getting into other people's lane, think you could do other people's things because you see it and you try to emulate it. Like we just had something that happened. I'm not gonna say nothing, but yeah, I mean, we just had something here that happened, you know what I mean, that people try to jump into and they ultimately failed at it, you know what I mean? And it's like, bro, like stay in your lane. Like if you're a drug dealer, be a drug dealer. If you play kickball. If you play baseball, and so forth and so forth. If you're not what you're trying to get into, don't do that because it disrespects the real people that be into it all the time, that be in it every day. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, yeah, I mean, we've been rapping our whole lives, and it be mad. It'll make you mad seeing a hustler that only been at it for a year and had a couple dollars just to shoot his way to the top, you know what I mean? Because he paid the right people or he knows the right people that put him in position. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, stop taking our stuff as a mockery because some of the best people that in hip hop ever was never heard of, yo. Like, you know what I
Facts.
mean? That's just like there's a there's a kid in Atlantic City, New Jersey, that I guarantee if he knew the right people or had the right backing or had the right way, there was a kid on a corner at the hoop court that could have been better than Michael Jordan if he would have put the
That's a
work in.
fact. That's a
You
fact.
know what I'm saying? So you
But
know what I mean?
hold up. I gotta stop. I gotta stop you, bro, because I can't let you get away without talking about this. Um, You're a battle rapper, right?
Correct, correct.
We are now in a culture where we have two men get in arena, have a clash of intelligence. Who's
Hmm.
the most clever? Who's the most dope? And nobody wins. What the fuck? What sport where there ain't no winner? Where there ain't no clear cut winner? Where they do that at? What's your
Okay.
opinion on that?
Do you want to hear the truth or my opinion?
Man, you just
See,
be you giving
that's
it
a
to the
question.
people. Yeah,
Okay.
give it to the people.
Okay. Here's my opinion, and then I'm gonna give you the truth. All right.
Mm-hmm.
My opinion is yes, there should be a winner. Who's better that day? Who showed up with better material? Who had the better lines? Who had the most memorable moment? Who had, you know what I mean? There's different components that you go to in battle rap. But the truth of the matter is, it's entertainment just like music now.
Mm.
That's the
So
truth.
you saying it's WWF?
Basically,
Damn.
we get up there and we disrespect each other, and at the end, we dap each other up. We get paid and we go home, and we're cool after that.
Do you feel like battle rappers that you face even care about winning?
They don't. They care about getting paid.
Damn.
They don't. You know what I'm saying? Now I do admit this. I just recently had a battle with E Ness from MTV making a band / Bad Boy. Shout out to E Ness. He also got a cheesecake out there. Go support a black owned business. It's called E Ness Cheesecake. You can find it on Instagram and all that. Um, he actually took me serious, which I respect.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He comes from the cloth that we come from. You know what I mean? Where it's like it's not just a check. There's people like, and I'm gonna say it like the Tay Rocks and you know what I mean, and the people like you know what I mean. They don't take it serious no more. They come in here to get a check. You know what I'm saying, and go about their way until the next battle, and they'll write some bullshit again, and then do the same thing over and over 3 times a year. And these people are getting 30 to 50 grand a year. I mean, 30 or 50 grand a battle. Literally.
So
You know what I mean?
imagine,
And not taking it serious. But me, I'm telling every battle rapper, you step in front of me, I'm not doing this for just a check. I'm going to take you serious. I'm going to get you out of here.
yeah,
I'm just letting you know I'm going to get you out of here.
that's how it should be. My ego won't allow me to lose. I don't even care about the money. You know, we all want money. I'll take the bag. But at the end of the day, I'm going to will my win. You know what I mean? I'm going to do everything it take. I'm learn levitation, whatever it take to get that W. I'm going to do that. You know what I mean? And you're saying that people just want to check, man. That's bad for the people. That's bad
Yeah,
for
they
the
just want to check.
culture. Right. And then what do you think about the audience? The people that do try to do good, the people who do take it serious, they can't even get over because the audience ain't up to speed. What is your opinion on that?
Yeah, man, the audience makes it worse. Yeah, I mean, the fans make it worse because you giving these people that are coming for a check more notoriety. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause you're the reason why that they're getting paid what they're getting paid, or you're not boycotting it. You know what I mean? By saying, yo, we want to see a show. We want to see somebody's head get ripped off up here. We don't want you to just we don't want to pay $50, $100 to come in here and just look at you on the stage and you not doing nothing. You know what I mean? Just because you're here in my presence. You know what I mean? People gotta understand, you know what I mean? Fans don't make it no better. Even in music, like fans don't make it no better. You know what I mean? Because they condone everything that goes on. They're like, oh, as long as I get to see them, it's cool. No, no, I'm not paying to get a half-ass Sue Surf. I'm not paying to get a half-ass A Verb or a Murder Mook or a Loaded Lux. Like, I need to see them how I see them on the TV. I need this experience because when we went to concerts back then, yeah, I mean, like we went to a DMX or whoever our favorite person was, we would look on that stage in amazement because they're really rapping how they're rapping on TV.
Mm.
But when you see these people on TV when they're first hungry, like if you see their first battle ever, they're hungry. They're super hungry. They are tearing people apart.
Right.
Soon as 40,000 and 50,000, and then you give them a voice to these fans. Yeah, I mean they start going downhill because they start getting used to it, and then they start getting spoiled by the money.
Right.
You know
So
what
let
I'm
me ask
saying?
you.
I feel
Go
as
ahead.
though people shouldn't get paid. I don't think people should get paid. What I would suggest to every battle league is them marking a price or a prize for that battle. Like, look, yo, come in with 3 rounds, and then if you do your best in 3 rounds, and there's judges that judge this stuff, then I'll give you 10,000. I don't
Look,
think you
man.
should pay
It,
anybody
it
10,000.
it should be like boxing, bro. The winner get the purse. You show up, we'll buy you a nice Burger King meal. You can get whatever you want. You want frosty, you can get all of that. But winner take the purse. The person that
Right.
wanted more, the person that worked harder, and you should have judges.
Facts.
You should have judges that are in the business, judges that are professionals, not just people with opinions that don't know what the hell they're talking about. We need professional judges who used to be in the industry to know what they look for. Get A&Rs. I mean, how hard is it? You know
Right.
what I mean? A&Rs
Right.
pick music all day. So let them be the
Because I
judges.
feel
Let's have it. Go ahead.
because I feel as though like if somebody has an incentive to work harder, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? If you get paid up front, it's really not the same as you gonna go get a bag. It's like you're working for it, you're fighting for it. Like, yo, I got 10 bands right here. What y'all gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you? I got 5 bands. This, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Like, people used to bet on stuff like this. Yo, I got 5 bands on my man. Oh, you got 5 bands? All right. That's where it was the grittiness at. You know what I mean? Where you wasn't getting paid by no battle league. We wasn't listening to these fans that do this and do that. We were showing up and wrecking each other. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you got 5,000? I got 5,000 on my man too. Battle leagues put up 50 grand. There's a tournament for 100,000, which Smack is doing, and I super commend you for that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Put up these bags, man, and let them fight for it. Don't just give it to them, like, you know what I mean? Because we're not gonna want to work for it.
Well, I am happy that people are being able to make a living off of rap music. I'm very happy for that. I feel like I perform free
Right.
a lot of times. I
Me too.
entertained a whole bunch of people with no pay. So younger people today can get paid, and that's a great thing. But we need standards. We need people to try to achieve to be the best. See, my opinion is they're trying to recycle these people that lose. That's why there's no clear winner, because one person say they won and the other person say they won, and then their fans are like, I like him, and his fans are like, I like him. So if you find a bum rapper, you can recycle him. You know what I mean? And give him to somebody else who's going to kill him several times. So they the Glass Joes of the battle league. You know what I mean? They getting their jaw broke immediately. Like they fish food. So we got a
Hey,
whole
yo, it's
bunch
funny
of
that you
people.
say that. Yo, I called somebody Glass Joe. They was mad. That was that was hilarious.
So we gotta get to the real. Um, do you feel like
Facts.
rap today is feminine or masculine? Are you feminine to be a rapper? Or are you masculine to be a rapper today in
You
2022?
saying nowadays or back then?
2022, brother. 2022.
Feminine, very feminine,
Mm. Explain.
very
Expound
feminine.
on that.
Tight shirts, tight
Mm.
pants that show your piece. Like, yo, what are you doing? And then it's crazy because it's like you're showing women and then you have the nerve to say no homo. Like, you're walking around dudes with tight jeans on. You know what I mean? Like, that's not hip hop. Then we got ugly designer shoes. Like, when do we start spending thousands and thousands of dollars on designer clothes? But then you rappers get mad that you don't have $100, $200 for a beat. You just spend $3,000 on shoes and belts. You're
Right.
acting like a female. Females care about materialistic stuff over men. let's
Right.
let's be all the way honest.
So
Then
in bat go ahead.
then you got to figure, you know what I mean? Men are wearing purses now.
Right.
Like, come on, we got pockets.
You stupid.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a reason why we got pants with pockets on them. You know what I mean? Like, that's a female thing, yo. Stop that. Like, you know what I mean? I can't hate on y'all for what y'all do because, like I
No.
said, this ain't my generation, and I'm not mad at y'all. But what I
No.
am saying is, it's feminine what y'all doing. Like, it's very
Right.
feminine.
And
Like, back
and
in
when
the
we
day,
say hold on. I got to make this because we got to, clear some things up. When we say feminine, we're not judging anybody for what their lifestyle choices are, because your lifestyle choice doesn't do anything for me. And I'm not trying to down you, disrespect you, hurt you, or impede your liberties in any way. Okay, so you are more than welcome to choose whatever lifestyle that you choose to do. The only thing that I'm saying is, from the time that I grew up to now, I'm expressing my experience. And being the fact that we live in America and we have free speech, we should be able to express our experience without disrespecting anybody's lifestyle or anything. So notice, anything that we speak of about things being feminine or not what we're used to is just an example of what we went through growing up. Continue.
Okay, so and you say not to say this, and I'm gonna say something personal to the fans that's watching. I have a little cousin that is gay, and I love him to death. You feel what I'm saying? So I would never disrespect nobody in that community. But what I am saying is that's something that I wasn't raised on. I wasn't raised on being feminine. I was raised on the man in the house is masculine and the woman is the feminine one. Now all of a sudden you got the men that are more feminine than the actual women. You got women that's trying to be dudes
Right.
more than ever.
And the main part of the conversation is this: it wasn't part of our culture. Hip hop culture is
Right.
what I'm speaking of. So, how did you feel like we got to this point without being disrespectful in any way?
Okay. And I'm gonna just be honest. I, I have a feeling like, and I don't know this to be true, but just from just from stories that I heard, you know what I mean, from the industry people, there was a lot of backdooring, out of sight, out of mind, that people were doing behind the scenes in the industry. Like, you know what I mean? That, you know what I'm saying? People were like that back in the day and just didn't glorify it. Nowadays, it's like they have freedom. They have more freedom to say what they want to say. Like the, like the, and like I said, this is no disrespect to what you know what I mean. But you know what I mean. Gays got more of a voice now. You know what I'm saying. The lesbian community got more of a voice now. You know what I'm saying. The transgender people got more of a voice, which you should have. You know what I mean? I'm not going to count you out because you're not a person. You know what I mean? I'm, you know what I mean? I'm clearly saying that back in the day wouldn't happen as far as now, because I'm more open now to, you know what I'm saying? Like years ago, you couldn't have me around a gay person, but now it's kind of like I know what I am, so why would I care if you're around me? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I would love to have a gay fan, a transgender fan. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I might talk about something that they can relate to, and they talk about something that, just because we don't see eye to eye on one thing doesn't mean we don't see eye to eye on 10 different
Right.
things.
And
So,
don't attack people because they want to maintain. Don't attack men because they want to maintain their masculinity. I
right,
feel like there's an
right.
attack on masculinity where we feel like we gotta apologize for being masculine just because other people don't choose that lifestyle. So the same way that you want to be treated, we might not like everything that comes out your mouth, but we have to deal with it. And the same respect
Hold on,
and
let me interject real quick, and
yeah, yeah,
and just to elaborate on what you said. No, we shouldn't have to, and I agree with them. We shouldn't have to be apologetic for being masculine men, but also at
right,
the same point, we do have to apologize for not being understanding to what
right,
you want. You know what I'm saying? So, because in our mind, we don't understand why you're doing this,
right,
but subconsciously, you know what I'm saying, something might have happened in your life where you might have had a mom that, like, you just hate women. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Like, you just hate women, and you rather deal with men. Like, and that's understandable. I'm just
right,
saying, subconsciously in our minds, that's not the way we were raised. Like, you know what I mean? So we're trying to have an understanding on why you're like this. You know what I mean? But we do apologize for not understanding a hundred
right.
percent because we don't understand.
Right. And our main topic right now is about the culture of rap and it being different. And it being in the form that it is right now is telling men, because you said it was feminine, to be more feminine. And that's counterproductive. I mean, if you are that naturally, fine, but we don't want to send a message to men that we should be feminine, because how are we going to be married? How are we going to keep a woman if we're acting just as feminine as they are? You know what I mean? That's just, it's not going to work. You know what I mean? And I just spoke about how rap rules our life through the vibrations, through the feelings, through the narrative. Like, it
Right.
has a huge impact. If they can tell us that we should be gangsters and we kill people, and we actually kill people, what happens when they tell us we should be feminine? What's going to happen to our society at the end of the day? This is things you got to
Yeah,
think
that's
about.
another. Yeah, that's another thing that's like a little bit wrong with this culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want somebody to be a certain way in your mind. You know what I'm saying? And then you want them to be like, oh, I'm gangster, I'm a killer, I'm a this, I'm a that. You know what I'm saying? And then people actually do what they're talking about, and now they're, oh man, they're bad. I'm not listening to them. I'm not. Da, da, da. Look, this is what you influence, though. You fans bring that on, like, to a point where it's like you make them want to go do that because you're influencing them, because they're getting so much backlash from the internet that they feel like their back is against the wall and they have to do it. You know what I'm saying? We should just let music be music. Like,
Right.
let it be that, let it be the culture that we once loved before. When you hear a song, you just light up, like your face light up, like, oh my God, yo, like that's my song right there. You know it word for word, and you actually went through what them people went through. Like, you can actually relate to that artist. You know what I'm saying? People don't relate to an artist no more because it's being judgmental so many times. I remember Rap City in the basement. You had to go through 11 videos to get to your one. Now all of a sudden, you know what I mean? You could just go on the internet and click on YouTube and listen to your favorite song, and it devalues the artist. It really does. It devalues
Right. And
the
the
song, the
greatest
artist,
thing,
and what they need.
the greatest thing that music does? Music's like a time machine. Music can take you back to that time where you were having the most fun and that certain song was playing, and every time you hear that song, it takes you right back there. That's one of the greatest things about
Right,
music. And we gotta
right.
control what's ours. This is ours. We invented this. We control this. We run this. We need control of our music. It's one of our greatest commodities as African
If
American.
you
You
think,
can't.
if you think for 1 minute, Rome the Great, that we run this shit, we don't run nothing.
That's
What
a
we
fact.
are, what we are is puppets to the show that they create. They take our reality and make it entertaining. They get paid off of blood and sweat and tears that we put in. You know what I'm saying? There has been lyrics that have been stolen from you that was in the industry. There has been
Right.
beats that have been stolen from me that is in the industry right now. So people get paid out. We don't owe nothing. You know what I'm saying? Of course,
Right.
we call it ours because that's our culture. That's what we got brought up at. But you know what I'm saying? These owners, and I hate to put a color on it, but I have to. You know what I mean? These white owners, these Jewish owners, and you know what I mean, different things. They make money off of, you know what I'm saying, what goes on in everyday neighborhoods, and they put a tax dollar on it, and legally sell it, and then legally fuck you over in the end. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Off of your blood and your sweat and your work. You know what I mean? I seen New Edition on a, what's it called? They got paid $300 each
Right. That's
before
sad.
they was even, you know what I'm saying, before they was somewhere. So you mean to tell me these Jewish owners and these white owners was making millions and these people making $300?
Right. But bro, leave it right there. We might do a part two of this. Now we just spoke about music. Generations of music. And we even got political a little bit. So I hope we gave you a dope ass conversation, man. And I want to thank you to all the new people that's in the chat. Please like, share, and subscribe. I fuck with y'all. Hopefully y'all fuck with me. And we'll be out. Till the next time. Peace.